Good morning, tubers. It's Monday, March 9th, and what is that, 6:37, 38, somewhere around in there. And we're about, what, 68, 67 in the garage. And it's not going to be a John Kerry day out there today for sure, where we got clouds coming in. Let's see, what did they just say? Rain starting Tuesday afternoon and continuing on to the weekend. So we're going to stay in here. So I did work on it a little bit. I marked everything because it's all marked down there. And then as the panels hang in there like this, it's going to be hard pressed to see all that down underneath. The red stripe is to show the positive for the speakers. And you said, well, the left one could be the left and the right one could be the right. Yeah, well, if there's issues on this, I want to know what I'm doing, so I just go ahead and I mark everything. So, and that way, see, when if the sons have to troubleshoot, they know what to do. So we'll mount this up, get this in place, and then we'll start sorting out that mess right there. It's nice and sorted out until it comes up here, and then we'll just take care of that. And once we get that done, then the inputs on this, we'll terminate the inputs on this. Once that's done, then I guess we'll maybe start with the A-pillar tweeters. Again, I ordered the wrong door panels, so I'm going to have to call Classic when I get the money together to buy the other ones and see if we can swap them out. The new ones coming in, I'll take that box and get a return authorization from Classic and just stick them in that box and take it back to UPS. So that's the goal for today, is straighten out that mess, get the panel in, start terminating some wires, and maybe start on the A-pillars and getting the speaker pods in place. So when I get more, I'll turn it back on later. Hey tubers, well that was fun. Oh, the clock's going off. I got it all tied up till about here, and I left it loose because I don't know how much we're going to have before we terminate it in the stereo. So I will eventually put the painless loom around it. And you guys remember, there is a console going to be built for this thing. So, and that's where this wire will hide. It will be in that console. The other side. Hold on. I don't bend too well at this age. The crossover has been placed, so it didn't take up hardly any room, as you can see. So now we can finish bringing the wire all the way up, terminate the ends here, and move on to the next project at hand. So when I get more, I'll turn it back on later. Oh, man. I started installing the wire shield to go around. I thought I was going to hold off on that, and I decided to go ahead and do it. At least tidy things up a little bit. And get it going in the right direction. So when I get more, I'll turn it back on later. Morning tubers, it's what, 4 to 7, and that's the temp in the garage. It's Tuesday, what, March 10th? And welcome to Wet and Dreary Las Vegas. Right, you can't even see the jets. Oh yeah, you can, barely. But this is the weather supposed to be for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So, but last night we started, or yesterday, yesterday afternoon, we started wrapping the wiring. Going to finish that up and then route it, and then maybe start terminating some of it. So when I get more, I'll turn it back on later. Painless power braid, I guess, sleeving. Wasn't going to do that, but went ahead and did it anyway. So let's get over on the other side. Alright. Got it held here with tape for the time being, but the plans have always been to build a console in here, and it's just not on the top 10 list of things to do, so the cable will be hidden in the console. We did split off. These are the excuse me. These are the wires going to the crossovers. So, and they're right up there. So we got those there. We'll wire tie this together like this. I'll probably put a clamp here holding it for the time being. But yeah. And that's all the excess, and all that will be spooled up right there inside the console. Again, the console is down the road, and we'll be doing it. So next thing to do is probably get a couple of clamps, put one here to hold, maybe one or two here to hold the wire loom in place, and probably just one in the middle, and then start figuring out what we're going to do with the crossover wire, and terminate that and get that hooked up, and then then start maybe with the speaker pods and start thinking about those. So that's where I'm at. When I get more, I'll turn it back on later. Morning, tubers. It's 10 to 7, 9 to 7, and we're about 68 in the garage, and it's still raining. It was rained all last night, rained most of yesterday, so it's supposed to continue on until Friday, I think, Saturday, with a little break on Thursday. There's another cell cycles in, I guess. I don't know. And it looks like this guy delivering the ads or whatever can't even make the driveway anymore. So, but we're back on this. We'll be wiring. So, as I showed yesterday, I got it all in the braid or the wrap, and then I had to call T-Dub, and we had to FaceTime and go over the wiring and what he did. And we're missing the base switch to sit there and turn the base up more and down, so I got to find that. So I'll be tearing the garage apart looking for that. So when I get more, I'll turn this back on later. Well, the inputs to the crossovers are done. So yeah, and I did put a clamp there. So next up, I gotta find that base switch, or rheostat, or volume knob, or whatever you want to call it. We gotta get that mounted, and then I guess we'll go on to the tweeters. I did talk to Classic Industries today, and I did get the right door panels ordered and got a return authorization for the ones I misordered. So those are on their way. So when I get done, when I get something else to do, I'll turn this back on later. Alright, I found it. T-Dub stuck it inside the deck box, or in the receiver box, whatever you want to call it, when we were cleaning up. So now I got to find a place to mount this. So, but it's... So, let me figure this out, and I'll bring you guys back later. Okay, it's mounted. So now we got to find the cable that plugs into the back of it. Here it is. Bear with me, sorry about the shaky cam. We're trying to do this. Here it is right here. So I have to fish this through. Hang on, let me bring you back. Alright, it's plugged in. I got a ton of excess cable, as you can see. So again, we'll just coil it up and set it down in the center right down there, and zip tie it, and then see what happens. So when I get more, I'll turn it back on. Maybe the tweeters will be next, I don't know. I got a few other things I need to tend to. I still have to wire up the camera and a few other things. So let's just take this a little at a time. Let's probably wire up the camera. We got to do that. I still got to make a panel for this right in here. So let's take care of that, and then let's see, what do you want? We'll wire up the camera next, finish wiring it up next, and then do the do that panel, and then we'll hit the tweeters, because no point in wiring it all up and everything else until we get the doors, because then I gotta add those, and I got some fiberglass work to do on those, so we got some time yet. So let me get this this one bit of wire straightened up, and I'll bring you back later. Alright, we're going to wire up the camera, power for the camera and the ground. The ground will go right here, and we'll pull the power off the backup light right here. So when I put the backup lights on, then the camera will have power. So that's next up. When I get it done, I'll come back later. Alright, the tie-in is made. Here's the ground to the camera, and then there's the Scotch connector for the right there for the backup lights. That'll give power to the camera when the backup lights are engaged. So that's that. That little project's done. And so that will conclude today's video. I want to thank everybody for watching, subscribing, and of course leaving comments. Tomorrow we'll take this piece of steel and see if we can make the panel in the center there, where the heater controls went, to a blackout panel. And we'll do that. Then after that we'll start on the tweeters. But first I have a lunch date with Pat tomorrow. He's at a what is it? It's called EduCode. It's a group of seminars put on the ICC for fire inspectors and building inspectors and building plans examiners and fire plans examiners and such. It's to get you CEUs to keep up your certifications and everything. And so he's at Edgecode, and that's at the Orleans Hotel and Casino. And right next door to that's an Irish pub. And they have excellent bangers and mash. So that's what I'm going to meet him for lunch there tomorrow for bangers and mash. So we probably won't get started on this until later on in the afternoon. And but we'll see what the morning brings. And for anybody who cares, it stopped raining finally in Vegas, but they say another set's coming in. So again, I want to thank everybody for watching, subscribing, and of course leaving comments, and we'll pick this up tomorrow. Later. Hey tubers, it's Thursday, and that's the time. That's the temp in the garage. What, March 12th? Yeah, tomorrow's Friday the 13th. So yeah, so I met Pat for lunch at that Irish pub, and I had a big plate of bangers and mash. I took video of it where we were seated, and I took pictures of the video of the meal when it came, so I'll pop that on this video here. Really don't feel like doing anything with a full belly, but I'm going to clean up this, and where the heater controls went, we're going to make a plate to cover that. So that's what we'll do now. The door panels, the new door panels I ordered are out for delivery, UPS, so hopefully we'll get those. I want to find a whole bunch of these, because what I want to do is I want to end up fiberglassing them to the inside of these, because I don't want to glass this into the new door panels. I think I put the rest of the trim, rubber trim around it. I think I'll cut the hole here and I'll fiberglass these on the inside so they sit down on the inside like that, and then I'll sit there and I'll just drill holes in the door panel and mount these this way. And I figured three or four of these per speaker enclosure, and then that'll give me the door speakers without tearing up the door panels too much, until I truly decide what I'm going to do with them. And then might even take it to the upholstery shop and let those guys mess with it. So that's where we're at today. So we'll see if I can spark up any energy and get this, see what I can get done. So first off, we're going to clean this edge up, and then we'll get in the car and measure this up and see what we got. When I get more, I'll turn it back on later. Alright guys, rule of thumb, don't go out and have a big lunch, come in and decide to take 5 on the couch, because then 3 hours later you wake up and you see, oh, okay, this is as far as I got. And I turned on the air compressor, I broke out the angles grinder, sat there and put a Orlock disc in it, 36 grit, got the sides cleaned up, measured, got my line cut, decided to go take a sit down, take 5. And if it wasn't for the UPS driver delivering the new door panels, I'd still be sleeping. So there it is. And to make matters even, I don't know if you want to call it worse, but last few days it's been raining. Look what it's doing now. And this is supposed to keep up until tomorrow at 3. So, yeah. So, which is going to be fun. Needless to say, I'm not going to work on this tonight. Nancy's off the next 2 days, so it's time with her. But we'll pick this up maybe Saturday, maybe tomorrow before my live show. We don't know. Again, I want to find a whole bunch of these little angle brackets, because I want to fiberglass them on the inside of these. Those are the correct door panels. Those door panels have to go back, wrapped up in this box. I got an RA number from Classic Industries, and then I got to ship them back to them. And so, yeah, but these are the correct ones. These are the ones I wanted. So, but yeah. So now that we got those, we'll box up those tomorrow and get those stored over there. And then maybe we'll work on this. We'll see what Nance has planned for tomorrow. So I'm going to upload this. I want to thank everybody for watching, subscribing, and of course leaving comments. And we'll see you tomorrow on my live show, 2:30 Vegas time. Later. Oh, one more thing. At the end of this video, there's going to be, I took a short video of Pat and I having lunch. So you're going to see the plate of bangers and mash I got at the Irish pub. And then the little decor shot of where we were sitting in the pub. Later. Okay, this is where we are for lunch. And you can see it's definitely an Irish pub. Waiting on Pat. More in a minute. Alright, lunch is served.
Oh, wait, is this going on your live show too?
No.